So now that the 2012 General Assembly session is over for the year, we thought we'd take a few minutes to give you an update on issues that were important to CPAs. First off, there's tax conformity, and as you already know, tax conformity passed very early this year, which was great. But beyond the usual conformity bill, we had a few other issues related to that were addressed. We reconformed with Section 199 of the Internal Revenue Code, which is the domestic production deduction for manufacturers. There is still one outstanding issue in relation to conformity, which was an attempt to deconform with certain provisions of the federal health care law. That bill was continued to next session. The VSCPA did oppose it because we think it unnecessarily complicates tax conformity, so we'll keep you posted as we watch that issue moving into 2013. So another great success for us was our legislation dealing with closing a loophole in the Freedom of Information Act. It was a pretty straightforward, simple bill. All it did was exempt the financial information collected by the Board of Accountancy in enforcement investigations from Freedom of Information Act requests or FOIA requests after the investigation is closed. This will help protect individual taxpayer information and any other confidential financial information that really shouldn't be out there in the public arena. We paid very close attention to any legislation that had the potential to impact the financial literacy graduation requirement that the financial services community, which included the VSCPA, worked so hard to get put in place. There were a couple bills introduced that were there to reduce state mandates on localities and unintentionally included language which would have struck the financial literacy graduation requirement. So as soon as we figured that out, we notified all the other groups that were involved in this issue and reached out to make sure that the bill got amended to remove all that language, and that was successful. So the financial literacy graduation requirement is still intact and there's no changes to it. We ran into a new challenge this year with respect to some licensing changes. There were a few bills introduced that the premise of them was to make it easier for military personnel and their spouses to become licensed. And these bills affected all licensed professions in the Commonwealth of Virginia. The concern that we had with these bills was not the fact of trying to make it easier for those folks to get through the licensing process, but we just wanted to make sure that it wasn't done in a way that conflicted with the licensing statutes that exist in the accounting code. So what we were able to do is work with the patron to make sure that the language got amended so that there are no conflicts with the licensing statutes under the Board of Accountancy statutes. This was a great success, and it will make it easier for those folks trying to get their licenses, but it'll protect the integrity of the CPA license at the same time. We had the return of another issue that we faced in the 2011 General Assembly session, which dealt with public procurement law. These are kind of tricky bills because on the surface they look to be very good for Virginia businesses. And what I mean by that is they're bills that try to give a preference to Virginia-based businesses in the public procurement process. However, the problem with legislation like this is there's always a retaliatory impact from other states. So with all of the cross-border procurement and work that goes on these days, stuff like this would actually be detrimental to Virginia businesses. And these bills drew a lot of opposition, not just the VSCPA. Ultimately, all of these bills ended up dying in committee because they just didn't achieve what they intended to achieve. So the last two issues I want to talk about deal with sales tax. These two issues are not things that the VSCPA took positions on this year. Amongst our membership, we certainly have winners and losers, and so we can't take a position to support or oppose per se, but they do represent significant changes to how and when tax is collected, and so we wanted to make sure that you were aware of them. So the first one deals with the passage of legislation to implement a single sales factor model for retailers. And basically, that means that the corporate apportionment sales tax is going to change for retailers moving forward. Instead of being the weighted system that we currently have, it's basically over a phase-in period going to be based solely on the sales. What this does for businesses that have chosen to make a significant investment in Virginia is it makes sure that they're taxed on their earnings. And it actually works to their benefit in most cases. They come out paying less tax. The other one, and this one got a lot of attention as well, was what's commonly known as the Amazon bill. And really what that deals with is sales collection from online retailers and making sure that that occurs. The Retail Merchants Association and other local brick and mortar stores have made a big deal of this issue over the past couple years because the failure of online retailers to collect sales tax in a lot of cases is putting the Virginia-based businesses at a disadvantage. So relatively early on, Amazon and the administration reached a compromise and were able to work on passing a bill that, moving down the line, certain online retailers, Amazon being one of them, are going to begin collecting sales tax for their online transactions. So as you can see, it really has been a successful legislative session for the VSCPA. Certainly this is not an exhaustive list of everything that we worked on, but it's the highlights, and we wanted to share that information with you.